We're about to take it back.
Okay.
Yes, guys, and welcome back to another episode on the Talkin' Loud podcast, where we discuss everything dank, icky, sticky, gassy, and all that good stuff. And today, I got a very special episode for you guys because I'm kicking with someone who loves plant training just as much as I do, or maybe a little bit more, because he's invented some awesome plant training stuff. And I'm super stoked to have on the show today, Nathan. How's it going, Nate? What's going on?
Good, man. I'm really happy to be here. This is such a cool experience for me. Thank you for having me.
Hell yeah, man. Most definitely, man. We actually had the pleasure of linking up out of Cannacages, man, and you showed me some of the great stuff you're doing, and we're going to get into all that, guys. But smash the like button because today's episode is going to be a banger. It's going to be all about plant training and ways that you can increase your yield. And I think my homie Nate here has got some awesome tips and tricks and some awesome stuff that we can use to do that. He's actually the inventor of the Cannacages, the whole setup, man. It's some crazy stuff. So we're going to get into all that. But Nate, just to get things started off, man, like where are you chilling at? Like how's things going on over there? What you smoking on? Just tell me how things are going on over on your side of town.
Good, man. So yeah, I designed Cannacages, and right now I've got tansy growing in it right now. And this plant exploded on me. I went to a music festival and came back after like a week, and it blew up on me, man. And I was like, at that point, I was like, this works. Okay, I'm on to something good. This is pretty cool. So yeah, I'm up here in Boulder, Colorado, kicking it, man. Loving everything that I'm doing. Loving everything that Cannacages is bringing me. It's a really fun ride to be on. I'm really excited to be here. I've gotten a lot of momentum behind this thing. It's a great time. I'm having a good time for sure.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome, man. I actually think I noticed that out on your Instagram. When I first met you, I didn't actually know that you were based out here in Colorado as well. But then after I peeped your stuff and I started to like do a little bit more research, I was like, oh, he's actually based out here in Colorado as well. So how is that I don't know, sort of shaped or molded you into the person you are today in terms of, wanting to get into the industry, whether it's in one way or another?
Well, so I got into the industry on a whim. It was a total, like I just applied for it. I was like, I think it'll be cool to work with weed, well, in like 2012 now.
Yeah.
And then from that, it was as soon as I got the job, it was like a show up early, smile on my face, stay late type thing. And I loved it. I loved everything about it, and I was like, okay, it changed what I wanted to do. I was going to school for mechanical engineering. I wanted to build race cars, and then I found the cannabis industry, and I was like, this is where it's at, man. This is the bee's knees. This is so good. And so, my career continued in that path. I got involved with compliance, and I was really, shooting to the stars with learning how the cannabis industry worked from a compliance end of things, and then I put myself through school entirely with the, worked full time, went to school part time, weed paid for everything. And then I got a job in a cannabis lab, and that was I do cannabis testing. So I look at peaks in a graph all day, and I analyze the area underneath the line, and then compare it to the pure substance, right? So pure THCA. I'm looking at comparing those things, and I can get you, your bud tested 20%.
Yeah.
So that's what I do in my 9 to 5, and then I honestly, man, I had the thought in the shower of Cannacages, and I get out, I'm like, I can't be the first pothead to think of this. This is too easy. This is too it's got to exist. It's got to exist. And so I get out and I'm like, I have to put pen to paper right now. I have to draw this thing out. And so, it started with a drawing on a piece of paper, and I was like, this is it, man. This is going to change how indoor growing is done. So then I get online, and I'm looking up different keywords. I'm looking up different search criteria. And nothing. I can't find anything like it. I'm changing up my search criteria. I went to page 15 of Google, the back pages of Google, the back pages of Amazon. I didn't find anything like it. And then I went to a professional entrepreneur night, and I met who is now my good friend, business associate, and consultant, Dante. And he's really taken this to, the next level as far as what I thought, or rather the speed at which I thought this was possible, and it was only in March 10th, 2022, I got the LLC, and we're here now. I'm doing a podcast with you. This is crazy.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. That is really like truly inspirational, man. It's all about like following your dreams, man. Like coming up with something, having the perseverance to say, okay, I'm going to follow it through. I'm going to do a little research, see if there's anything similar to it, like on the market, if there's anything like it. If I can be the first person to bring something new to everyone, bring something that everyone can use and they can benefit from. And I can help the community and help the growers, man. And I think that's beautiful, man. That's amazing stuff.
Yep.
Hell yeah, dude. But you mentioned like you just got it started. So what I actually have right now is your website up here right now.
Okay.
And it's an amazing website and it's amazing product that you guys have here. So before I start to run through the video and everything, man, tell me like where's the inspiration come from when it comes to the name Cannacages? Like where did the inspiration come from behind it, man?
Well, so I was kind of torn with naming it Canna anything, just because of the whole federal legalization thing, but
Yeah.
like I had, it's the when I thought of it, I wrote it down on a list because I was like satellite plant trainer,
Got you.
plant train, like I couldn't get away from the word satellite and plant trainer. And I was like, that's not really, like it's for cannabis. It's really, you can grow many other things with it, but the cannabis market is what we're tackling right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cannacages, I said it, I got wrote down on paper and I mentioned it to Dante and he was like, I love it. Let's
Yeah.
roll with it. So, and then Cannacages was born. I had an awesome, this woman that was helping me make logos. Like we made it, and then I was like, that's it. This is it. Okay, Cannacages is born.
That
Yeah,
logo is
right
pretty
there.
sick, man. I like it as well because it looks like the cage bent on its side to make the C.
That's it. Yeah, that's totally it.
Yeah, we're gonna get into all that today, guys. So definitely smash the like button for that, man, because today's episode is all about plant training, and it's gonna be a friggin' banger, man. So drop it in the comments down below and let me know what sort of plant training methods you guys use, because we're always interested to find out what you guys gotta say. But Nathan, another question I gotta ask, man. It's also about your other name, because I noticed your Instagram name as well, dude. Cannabis burrito. Tell me a little bit about that inspiration, dude. How'd that one come about, brother?
So so straight up, that was a gamer tag on someone. I was playing PlayStation, and someone had that, and it made me laugh so hard, and it just like it stuck, man. And so that became like my Venmo handle, like my my Instagram handle. That person, I was not on Instagram a whole lot. I'm not really a social media person, but like coming into this role as a business owner, you have to be a content creator, and that's like really the bread and butter of what I'm doing right now is like taking photos of everything. I had a time lapse camera that was pointed at the plant for 6 months and I got this beautiful, I was able to condense it in like a minute 45, but that was super cool. And
I
just
saw
having
that
to
one.
get on
That's dope.
Instagram, it's, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, I'm all over it now. But
Hell yeah, man.
that was a gamer tag that came up when I saw that. I
I
laughed.
literally saw that, man, and I also laughed so hard. I was like,
Yeah,
dude, what is that? What is the inspiration behind that? I gotta ask him, bro. So I
yeah.
was
Well,
like,
like I love cannabis and burritos, and I was like, those things still they go hand in hand. So
I
well.
thought like maybe he was rolling some big ass joints, fat like a burrito and shit. I was like, maybe that's what it is, man.
There's many different interpretations to it. I'm here for it.
I love it, man. I love it. Absolutely, man. That's a good one, dude. Now, man, how long have you been growing plants, dude? Like plants in general. Do you grow any other plants?
Yeah, so right now I've got 3 raised garden beds outside, some begonias, tomatoes, watermelon, a couple of different things, a lot of peppers. But I just kind of, I got in the weed biz and then I learned a bunch of techniques that are very universal, right? So
Yeah.
you can grow weed, you can grow tomatoes, and it's been really fruitful to learn, all the different niches and like techniques for growing cannabis. I'm like, I can apply that over here and I can like triple my yield on these peppers. This is great.
Yeah, it's
So
so true, man. A lot of people actually said that I bring on. They grow other stuff as well, and they say that just growing those other stuff, the herbs, the vegetables, fruits, like other stuff, man, ornamental plants. I don't know, just by growing those stuff, they were able to get a better understanding of like how all plants function and bring that
absolutely.
into their medicinal plants garden. And have you had a similar experience?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, it's and it's a hobby for me, and
Yeah,
it's a passion really at the end of the day.
yeah,
And I've been able to find something that I'm very passionate about, and be able to, like steer the ship on it.
yeah.
And that's, we're patent pending on this thing. We're fixing to be the only ones that have access to be able to make this. And that's like That's passion, man. It's fun. This is a good time.
Yeah, it most definitely is, dude. And I think that the stuff that you're doing over there, man, it's honestly, it's great. It's amazing. And I'm always so like inspired to see other people, being inspired and following their dreams and their inspiration. And that inspires so many people in turn, man. So props to you on that, brother. And I'm sure it must feel so good just to do that, doesn't it?
Oh, it's amazing. I love it. And like when the storm, when it's choppy waters, metaphorically, so to speak. And
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be anywhere else but driving the ship, and I've got a lot of support, and it's, I was really like, when I went to Canacon, man, I was thinking like, someone's going to tell me this is a bad idea. Someone's going to be like, hey, this already exists. We're using it currently in our grow. No one said that. No one had anything but awesome things to say. And like, I brought like 50 business cards and gave them all out. It was great. Everyone was like really interested in what I had to say and show them. So that was cool.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And a lot of it, like, when you have your own business and, you have your own, baby, so to speak, man, that you take care of it, man. You go out there, you push it as much as you can. You invest time, you invest effort, you invest money into it, and you just, try to build it as best you can, just like you would with, a real child,
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. And I saw you out there, grinding and doing that. And that's actually how we both are, connected, man. So props to you on that, man. I'm super stoked to be able to kick it with you, man.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Hell yeah, dude. Oh, man. Now, one thing I definitely want to talk about today, guys, is plant training. So like I keep saying, like, drop it in the comments. Let me know what sort of plant training techniques you use, because there are a lot of different plant training techniques. And plant training is something that's, important for a lot of different reasons to a lot of different people for various reasons. Like, different people grow different ways. No two people grow the exact same. So for you, Nathan, what sort of plant training methods would you say are your preferences, man?
Well, with the cage, it's so easy. You take some green tie, and I tie a little loop around it, but not so tight that it's going to constrict the stem. And then I just bend the plant out a little bit, and then those little nodes become branches, and then those branches become other branches. And then before long, you have this like giant, like almost mushroom of a plant. This next time I want to try and keep the canopy nice and even.
Yeah.
But I was just going to let this do its thing, so it's, that, I'm a fan of scrogging. I saw you had the Northern Scrogger on here. I'm a huge fan of that guy.
Yeah.
He is actually like, more.
Shout out to the Northern Scrogger, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Seeing techniques like that, it being one plant, and it's
massive.
Like it's massive, and I was like, this can be done with the cage.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about it is that Cannacages, you don't need a trellis. Right. So if, let's say on a production scale, you've got like a 4x8 table, you can put 2 rows of 4 of our 2-foot model, 4 rows of them. And then in the event that you get powdery mildew, mold, bugs, whatever, you can remove that plant and get it out of there. Hermaphrodites, you start to see little nanners, get it out of there, and when it's in a trellis, that plant is stuck there. So that's definitely like a plus that I'm seeing. With the Cannacages. So
I definitely would agree with that, man. So before we get into like all the Cannacages and stuff, because I'm super excited, I've actually just pulled up something here to show you guys, so definitely stick around for that. But one thing I wanted to ask, man, like, is low stress training like sort of your preferred style of training? Because the Cannacages is almost like, a very controlled form of low stress training that allows you to, maximize your yield to the fullest potential, dude. Like, you get some awesome yields, some massive plants. But do you do like high stress training at all? Do you like any of that stuff? Do you what's your preference?
I definitely would say I prefer low stress training. Because I am not like, I can't nail, so like you can crimp the stalk, right? And then
super crop it and like shit
almost, and then it'll fall over and you can like pin it or tie it down and it'll start to grow like that. I have not been very good at that personally, and like I find that it really stresses the plant out. I'm not getting those giant, fan leaves that I was seeing at the beginning of growth when I really started to like do some high stress training and like crimping the buds, and that it doesn't look like a healthy plant, at least to me. I have not mastered that technique, but I can do it with Cannacages.
Yeah.
But I'm a much bigger fan of just the low, I'd go in maybe once a week, tie it down.
I got you.
Tie it down, So that's probably something that I'm really happy to be exploring right now.
I like that, man, because I think that that's a main reason that a lot of people, gravitate towards low stress training as opposed to the high stress training. Some people, they go in a little bit hard, trying to super crop and bend those branches,
Mhm.
branch snaps clean off. You do sometimes a little bit less is a great way to just start things off, especially if you're a beginner grower. And
Mhm.
I also think that that's a great reason that the Cannacages is just such a great product. So we've pulled it back up on screen again here, guys. And as you guys can see, I've got this video preloaded here, but you guys can see exactly what it is. So just walk us through, Nathan, exactly what the Cannacages is and how it works so you can get the most out of your plants with it.
So you can think of it like an inverted tomato cage, and that was one of my keywords that I was using. But it opens up to follow really the form of the plant, the natural form of the plant. Here you can see that's our round model. We're designing a square model as well. But it's the design is so simple, and it's got the 3 rings there that really allow you to continue to open up the plant to really as large as you want, right? So I had my 1-foot model in a 2-gallon pot, and I feel like that was the perfect size. I had my 3-foot model in a 6-gallon pot, and I want to go with like a 20-gallon pot on this next run, man. I want to,
Wow.
I'm looking for a beast.
Yeah.
But it's always been so photogenic. That was the first one that was made right there.
Sweet, man.
Yeah, and that's it sitting in the pot. But yeah, the design is super simple. The rings are there to allow the user to use green tide. That's been the main method of low stress training that I've been utilizing. But I actually had someone, so we're actually featured on the autoflower.net forum, and someone was saying that they were going to wrap the branches around the cage and use the cage itself to train instead of the low stress training. And I was like,
Wow.
hey man, that's cool. I had not thought of that. That's
Smart.
cool. But we also found another account on Instagram that does like bonsai training with
Ooh.
cannabis plants. And we were like, hey, let us send you a cage. This would be great. We should
Yeah.
definitely work together. So you can kind of see this is another project right here that we had worked on. And just tying the branch around, and it can be, it's like low stress training is an art form. And it's something that takes a lot of skill and a lot of time and a lot of practice and patience to develop, and like when the plant is looking stressed, you are applying low stress to it. But, just being able to like, keep the environment consistent and then not, like super crop the hell out of it, and it's just like dilapidated over there.
Yeah, that's so true, man. And I think that's literally one of the biggest pluses of the Cannacages, man. Because looking at it, it starts off, and a big problem with a lot of the tomato cages. People may want to, say that they use tomato cages and liken it to that. But the difference with this is that it actually opens out a lot wider. Because for me, I've used tomato cages, and the issue is that it's super narrow, man, and like
Mhm.
it just doesn't do a whole lot except for those branches that are really in the middle there. So
Yep.
just seeing how wide I've seen some of these grow on your Instagram, dude. Guys, you got to check out his Instagram. We can't show any plants on here, but definitely check out his Instagram and you can see it in action. The plants are friggin' massive, brother. So props to you on that, man.
Thank you.
And I think it's something that a lot of people can definitely use, man. So what do you think about, just maybe doing a little giveaway, man? I know you mentioned just now you're looking for people to, try it out. Maybe we can give away one on the channel or the live stream. I'm sure we got a lot of people that will love to try it, man.
Yeah. No, that can definitely happen for sure.
Hell yeah, man. Guys, smash the like button for that because someone's going to get a chance to win one of these awesome products, man. This is a frigging amazing kind of cage. It's like crazy, man. I'm so jealous, but someone is going to get their hands on it, man. So shout out to Nathan for that, man. Smash the like button for that because that is friggin' amazing. Now, tell me a little bit about the Cannacages journey, man. Like, how did it all start? Like, what actually, made you decide, I'm actually gonna do this? You mentioned that like you saw a little gap in the market, but what made you actually take the next step, source the materials? Like, how much of a process was that? Because I'm sure it could not have been easy to get to this point.
Well, so the hardest part was sourcing the metal. So I had this idea, I had this drawing, and it was something that I couldn't shake.
Yeah.
Right. And I was loving it. And I was just like, the more that I thought about it, all the applications for it indoors and especially outdoor grows, like a 1, 2, 3 foot model, forget that. 4, 5, and 6 foot model, let's grow some trees.
Yeah.
But I went to the hardware store and I saw that they had the 1/8 inch diameter stainless steel rods in the 3 foot sections. And that was exactly what I needed. And I was like, this is it right here. This is the metal. I could do this, you know? And so like,
Wow.
I picked it up and I did, you know, math. It's a series of right triangles. So you figure out the hypotenuse and like, oh, that's the angle right there. That's how long
Yeah.
it needs to be. So boom, 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 you know, and I sat there, measured it out with the Sharpie. You can kind of see it in that video right there.
Yeah.
But I'm just bending it by hand, you know, getting high,
Yeah.
bending it by hand. It was great. And then I had a good friend of mine at Home Depot that had access to all this welding equipment in the back. And so we're in the back of Home Depot welding this thing together. And like, it is not perfect by any means. It's mathematically, it is not perfect. It's rounded. Or all the numbers were rounded. So it's kind of janky, but like it works. And the first time that I saw it, I was like, oh, okay. Well, yeah, man, this is it. This is Cannacages. This is the thing. This can happen. And so I was in loose conversation with Dante about getting this going. And I was like, hey, man, I have a prototype. I have this thing. It exists now. And so like we put it in the soil and I was like, I got a tent downstairs. Like, this is okay. I'm going for it, man. Like, do you want in? And he immediately saw the value in it, you know, and his thing is providing equity to all the growers and like really being able to level the playing field. You know, like you can grow, if only you've got a license for like 1,000 plants, you can grow 1,000 BV plants and you can compete with some of these bigger dogs out there that are just going down pounds a week, you know, but he saw it and it was really the FES energy that I was about, you know, and he was like, dude, this is a game changer. I'm here for it, man. Let's go. Let's
I like that.
I mean, the rest is history. And
wow.
started the Instagram, you know, got the Instagram, got the Facebook, got the Twitter, got everything up and running, got the website, got the LLC, you know, and this all happened within the span of about a week. And then we're on Mother Nature's time clock, right? So like I plant the seed and it's not overnight that this thing grows, you know, and I'm like, okay, so like I have a seed that's like 4 inches tall. And that was, you know, okay, so I'm gonna start training it. I started training it at a very young age, and it was kind of metaphor. It was cool because the plant growing was like representative of the business growing.
Yeah.
You know, and as it was getting bigger and bigger and bigger, it was getting more attention. It was getting more likes and follows. And then like, you know, I'm almost at 900 followers right here. And like 6 months ago, it was nothing. Again, this was a drawing on a piece of paper, and it's something now. And so I'm getting to, you know, meet cool people like yourself. I'm getting to go to cool conferences, and everybody is really happy to have me.
Yeah, dude.
So it's, you know, just the momentum with my friends and family, and, you know, like, you know, close friends like, hey, I want like 4 or 5 when this, you know, like you're the owner, I'm talking to you, like, let's make this happen. I want a bunch of them. So it's, we're working on the production right now, man. We actually have a production model, but the guy got COVID. And so we haven't been able to check it out. We found out on Friday that he came down with it. So
yeah,
we're waiting on that, but we're getting the packaging work done, you know, and instruction manuals, how the box is going to look, stuff like that. And then look for it on your shelves. It's coming soon.
that's what's up, man. And that is amazing, bro. That story is like super inspirational. When we talk about inspirational, man, you literally had a goal. You went out there, you sourced the material yourself, you had a vision of what you wanted. You were like, this is it, man. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make it happen. And the beautiful thing is, man, that you started off doing it by hand. You know, you do things by hand. It may not be perfect. You know, every right angle may not be, you know, exactly the same, but it works, man. It gives you an idea of how to improve, dude. So that is amazing. And every step of the way, you're gonna improve and get better. So props to you on that, dude. How does it feel, bro?
Oh, it's great. I'm on cloud 9. I constantly walk around just smiling and just life is so fun, you know, and every day I wake up, I get to do something cool. Every day is a different day, and that's like a truly awesome place to be. And I love like hanging out here, man. This is good.
That's awesome, bro. Awesome stuff, man. Now you mentioned like you had recently, you know, incorporated the LLC, you got the paid and pending and everything. And you know, you really just took everything on board, you know, and ran with it. So what has that process been like? You know, a lot of people, you know, have an idea and, you know, they may do something, but they don't actually, you know, go and pursue it in terms of actually, you know, getting a company set up, you know, doing the legal side of stuff. So was that difficult? Was it intimidating? How was that for you?
Oh man, I've had my stomach's been in my throat, you know, for the last 6 months, but it's, you know, and in order to make something like this happen, you got to jump at some point, you know, and then having Dante by my side, helping me out. He's really been navigating the legal channels of it. And he actually just got me hooked up with the Small Business Development Center up here in Boulder. And they have a business accelerator program. And now I have like a team of people that we're doing a deep dive, I think on Monday. And we're going to break open Cannacages and see where we're at, where we could be going, you know, and what is the fastest way to get there. So that's a huge thing. That's a brand new development, you know, and that came up, and these people are like, this is cool. It's got the sustainability aspect of it. We're all about it, you know, and they're like, you're growing tomatoes. You're not growing weed, you know, and I'm like,
Yeah.
cool. All right, yeah, we're growing tomatoes, but
Yeah, dude, they're going tomato cages here.
tomato cages,
Yeah,
tomatoes.
don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
And I think that would probably have a good impact as well, because you know when you try to do stuff that has cannabis involved at the legal level, the federal level, it's pretty difficult, man. So if you're able to market it as a tomato cage and actually get use from gardeners who grow vegetables and tomatoes, because a lot of growers use cages like that to spread out their tomatoes to get the bigger yields. So
Absolutely.
they will also have use for it, man. So you can actually market it on a bigger scale and also to other growers that are not only medicinal plant growers as well, right?
That's the plan. Absolutely. Yeah, we're trying to get into Home Depot, Lowe's, you know, any gardening center. But that's but like really trying to tackle this cannabis market, because that's where I'm having the most traction.
Yeah.
But, yeah, absolutely, man. We grow
I got
tomatoes.
you.
We grow the biggest, best tomatoes, and we'll, look for it in stores.
Hell yeah, dude. That's what's up, man. And I think that's friggin' amazing, dude. So again, shout out to you on that, man. And I can't wait to see it on those stores, man. I'm gonna be looking out for it. I'm gonna be like, where's Nathan's Cannacages, bro? We got it. Okay, I'm gonna support the homie. You walk out with like 10 of them.
Thank you.
Hell yeah, dude. But now I got a question, dude. Like the rust on it, man. Have you done like any runs with them where you've experienced like maybe any rust on them? Because I've ran some tomato cages when I lived back out in the Caribbean, and some of them, the metal ones, they just rusted, got some rust on it. And just having my buds lean on the rust, I didn't really like the feel of it, man. So is that something that you guys like maybe wax coated or something? Tell me about that.
So we use stainless steel, and mainly so in working in the cannabis lab, there's a couple different metals that we test for. The stainless steel, what could come off of it is not one of those things we test for. So definitely peep that first. I haven't had any problems with rust or anything like that, and it's gotten wet. The cage is it's going to be exposed to rain, sleet, snow, all of the elements. And I was like, it has to be durable. It has to be able to withstand a hurricane, and it's got to not leach out into the roots. So we were exploring like 3D printing, but like plastic is actually very, cannabis takes up plastic really well. So it was like that could end up in the buds more than metals. So we decided on a metal cage, and then the diameter to keep it nice and sturdy. But no, I haven't noticed any rust. This is the first grow of it. This is like, it's the first of its kind. This is the plant that you're seeing on Instagram is the first one.
Fuck,
so, and like I was saying, we're on the autoflower.net forum, and I shipped it out to 5 growers across the United States, and they're giving me like solid feedback, and it is good feedback, it is bad feedback, it is everything that they're experiencing. I'm seeing all kinds of pictures being posted there, but that's it's no one said anything about it. I haven't had any problems with rust, so not yet anyway. And the second this plant gets chopped down, I'm gonna throw another plant in there, and we're gonna keep this going.
Hell yeah, man. That is awesome, dude. Like, amazing. So you mentioned like you've sent it out to a couple of different ones, and I think that like being able to send it out to people and get that positive feedback and the negative feedback really helps you, as we mentioned earlier in the show, improve your final product, because there are always ways that you can improve, and you're always looking to improve, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
And so we started, it was a giant like 3-foot cage, like a 3-foot diameter cage, and then my buddy was like, you should make it so that it splits in half so that you can remove the cage without killing the plant, right? Because I'm thinking like weed this whole time, and I'm like, okay, so you harvest the plant, you just chop it down, right? What about people that aren't growing weed? Maybe they want to just train their rose bush and be able to move it and then look at it without the cage on it. And that was like version number 2, So then we get version number 2 made. This guy, Jet, out of Colorado Springs, he builds race cars. He got me those 5 prototypes. I go to ship them out. It was $1,200 to ship them out with just the big frame, split in half. And I was like, okay, this is not feasible at all to do this. So we got to shrink it. We got to be able to collapse it, So then it came up in kind of like a modular design. You can think of it like a connect set, right? So we designed all the connectors, right, that all the metal goes into. And then you can like say you buy a 2-foot and you're like, this is not big enough. You can buy like a foot extension, and just like connect it on there and build it up. or you can have it like on a, yeah. And then you can have it on a table. And so like on that giant table, you can just have one giant cage that you have several plants planted in there. The application for a mom room is also there. You know, you can have, I've got like 40 or 50 colas on my plant right now. You can just go take 40, 50 cuts, come back in 2 weeks. It'll be good to go.
That is wild, bro. I did not know that like you can I did not know you can get those extenders, man. But coming to think of it, I'm actually going to pull it back up on screen right now. This is it like extended. So you can actually see like the variations in the sizes, man. So you can go up and you can widen that really, really nicely and spread out your plants. That, man, fuck me, dude.
Yeah. No, and as these ideas come and the more applications come, it's like, wow, okay, so like in a Connect set, like you can have like a, you know, a 4-foot cage by like 2 feet, you know, and you can have, like, you can really have a custom setup here to your grow, because every grow is different. Space is often an issue. You know, we'll talk about vertical integration. You can have a really wide plant. You can have like 3 different rows of this really wide plant. So the applications are endless, you know. Yeah. It's really like the more that I think about it, and the more people that give me feedback, they'll pitch me ideas, you know, and I'm like, yo, this is yes. Loud. And so the momentum just keeps going, you know.
That's epic, bro. That is amazing, man. Like, oh, geez. So one thing I wanted to mention, man, is collapsible. So like it's very inconvenient when you got like a huge ass tomato cage or anything like that, and or even a scrog frame that you've already built, you know, like just trying to store those things can be pretty difficult sometimes. You got a bunch of them. It's not easy, man. In my old crib, I had them in my corridor, in my hallway, and my wife was getting pissed all the time. She was like, "What are you doing with the shit in my hallway?" Like nobody wants that in their hallway, dude. So just being able to like collapse this as well. Like if you're growing a plant, it gets really big. Say you're growing one plant, you cut it down afterward, and you know you want to collapse it down. You know, for whatever reason, you can, right?
Yeah. No, and that's you know, the idea being that it'll fit in like a little like foot by foot box, you know, or even like looking at like a cylinder that'll go in.
And that also helps with shipping as well, man. Because shipping a big, like, massive, you know, square rectangular thing, it's not easy, dude. Like, even if it's like super light, you know, customs on shipping and stuff, they charge you by like the size and, you know, stuff like that as well.
Yeah, ship out 5 cages, it was $1,200. And that was, you know, immediately like, okay, we got to rework this thing, or Cannacages is dead.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah. And I'm sure that that's something that you would have probably noticed as well along the way, man. So that one thing that you mentioned there, you know, that shipping cost that you guys had to overcome, you know, that's a hiccup in the road, so to speak. One little bump, you know, along a road that may have many. And, you know, just you guys being able to pivot in that situation and be like, okay, the shipping almost fucking killed us. So we got to figure out a way to be able to collapse this down and, you know, make it better. And I think that that's something that you guys are really doing well, just taking on board. Hearing you speak about, you know, the improvements that you guys have made, man. So props to you on that, dude. I really do like what I'm hearing, man.
Thank you.
So you mentioned that the possibilities are endless. Like you can keep going, you can keep training, you can even like level it out and level it up. You know, so we can go out and we can go up. So a lot of people out here, you know, they may liken it to like scrogging, but the difference is, like, I think with this is that you get a lot more control. Some people have 2 scrog frames and, you know, they go up and up. You know, you have like 2 levels of a scrog frame, you know, and but the thing is you can't really go much wider. But with this, you can keep extending, you can keep going wider. Yeah. So I think that that's a great thing, man. You want to expand on that a little bit?
Yeah. So it's, you know, like I was saying, the possibilities are really endless. And this is like when we're thinking, the idea is that we're going to have this ready to go for the outdoor market next year. But, you know, if you're just planting these plants in the ground and you're not worried about like a pot, you know, and that has unlimited resources, unlimited nutrients in it. You see on, you know, the internet, these plants are like 20 feet tall. And you can just imagine that if they started with this, with the Cannacages, with the strong foundation, they could be much wider. But all we really designed is these little clips, right? So you can insert various sizes of the diameter metal in there, and you know you can build one that's like really tall. If you're anticipating a plant that's going to get 20 feet tall, you know, like maybe let's make the wire a little bit thicker, let's make the clips a little bit bigger, and then it'll be able to support a giant plant like that. And so it's really like, yeah, the sky's the limit. There's really not. It's designed to be modular. It's designed to fit in many different grow settings. And that's where I think the adaptability of it and the versatility of it is so important in today's market, you know, and especially like for our closet growers, for our small tent growers, you know, like there's not any one size fits all design for this. And so for it to be able to for it to be modular and be able to change is really, you know, I think is what's going to separate it and bring it to the top.
Yeah, dude, I think that that's a big one because, like, I'm coming to think of it, man. Like, if I had known about this, like, a couple months back when I started off my grow, I would not be in the problem I'm in right now. I'm growing some slurricane #7, in-house genetics, a beautiful plant, man. The structure is awesome. I used some LST clips and everything and got it to really branch out, dude. And as soon as those buds started to stack, man, everything flopped over, dude. So now I got this
No.
huge floppy plant, dude. Like,
Mhm.
it's not fun. Like, it's really, really, disappointing. So if
Mhm.
I had known about this, bro, it might have been like a game-changing, life-saving thing,
Well, and that was another version of it. The initial version didn't have that ring up top,
Got you.
and that right there on the top, it didn't have that. So the idea being like, well, what about when those buds get big? We're growing giant plants. You got to expect the buds to get fat on them. And
Yeah.
so right now they're leaning on it, and it's definitely providing the support that it needs. I'm able to loosely tie them up.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah, that extra ring up there, I think we're on version like 4 technically. But yeah, that extra ring was an extra addition for sure.
Yeah, that's perfect, man. Like, guys, smash the like button for that. I'm always down to like bring you guys some new videos, new inventions, and show you guys what's popping, what's going on in the community. And Nathan and Cannacages, they're popping, man. This is some crazy, amazing stuff, man. And like you guys can see, it's definitely gonna be a game changer. Look out for it on your shelves, man. So what sort of yield can you expect? You mentioned that the possibilities are endless, dude. So like, what sort of yield can you get with this? Like, I'm sure you can get a monster, but like,
Well, so like I was saying, this is the first plant that's gone through it. So I'm growing a control. I got the same strain from the same line of genetics, and it's I'm doing a side by side so that I can say conclusively
got
what
you.
kind of yield you're going to be pulling down. Like a
Sweet.
20 to 30% increase in your yield, but you're also decreasing the amount that you have to water, right? So
Okay.
if this one plant can replace 4 plants, and you're watering these plants by hand, like myself, you now have to water 1 plant. So what
Yeah.
used to take me an hour and a half, pHing the water, adding the nutrients and everything, now it takes me like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
The amount of nutrients that I'm using is also going down.
Yeah.
And you're basically you're allowing we're providing the tools for you to maximize the canopy space. So it's not just in the yield that you're that is the only metric, so to speak. It's all these other things that you're cutting down on. You're also, because you don't have to buy trellis annually, or like, however often you buy trellis, or however much trellis you buy, you're cutting out that expense too. These things can also be cleaned in between uses. So you're cutting down on the transfer of mold and microbial life. And so it's like, yield is the big thing, and that's really kind of what I've been showcasing by taking all these plans, or excuse me, all these videos. But it's really like, I could just, but it's difficult to put a dynamic on it, right? Because like, or at least with like watering and nutrients, because everyone's setup is different. Some people have like gallon reservoirs and they just have a pump that goes into it. Maybe, they're like, and this is why we're sort of seeking feedback from like the auto growers, because they have all kinds of different setups. And I'm like, how does my cage work with your setup? Let's talk about it. Let's be brutal about it. Like, I want to hear it sucks. Tell me why it sucks. Let's make it better,
Yeah, I got you. And I love that you're open to like that feedback, man. That positive feedback, negative feedback, constructive criticism. That's literally what it's all about, man. So I'm hoping that whoever wins this, man, they really reach out to you and let you know, like, hey, this is what I loved about it. This is what I didn't like. This is how you can improve. Because I'm super stoked to see how far this can go, man. Like, it's gonna be amazing, brother. And like you mentioned, like it's got a lot more benefits than just one. So a lot of people you look for yield, but like, if you know anything about me, guys, I'm a quality over quantity type person. But a lot of people look for that yield, but it's not always just about the yield. And with this, like you mentioned, it's reusable, man. You can wipe it down. It keeps clean. It does not leach into the soil. There are no issues with any rust contaminations or heavy metals getting into your soils or your plant, being uptaken. There's no plastics. You guys really thought about it. We didn't take the easy route out. Just going to go and 3D print a bunch of shit and, send that out. Like, you're really going to try to make it the best that you can, man. So props to you on that, man. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Hell yeah, dude. And I think that's probably the perfect time to, segue into the Know Your Buds segment, man, which is pretty much a little segment I like to call the Know Your Buds. And pretty much everyone that comes onto the show, I like to say is my bud. And I like to find out what you do with your buds. So I'm just going to ask you a couple questions. There's no right or wrong answer. Just tell me what's your preference and why.
Okay.
Alrighty, man. Time for the Know Your Bud segments, guys, which is sponsored by Qualitrip. So let's get into it. Hell yeah, man. So first off, paper towel method, glass of water method, or straight into the soil. What's your preference and why?
I like to put it in a shot glass of water for like a day or two, and then I'll put it in a wet paper towel and put that in a bag, put that in a cupboard. And I've had pretty good experience with that, pretty good germination rate for sure.
Got you. I like that. Easy, simple, and straight to the point.
Yep.
Perfect. Alrighty. Next question is feminized or regs? Tricky one. What's your preference?
I've only ever grown feminized, but I definitely I've seen my fair share of hermaphrodites, but I've never had a full blown male plant.
Yeah.
And that, yeah, definitely feminized.
I got you on that one, man. And it's funny that you say that because I pretty much grow femmes as well, but I'm not like exclusive with femmes. I grow a bunch of regs as well. But a lot of the times when I grow femmes, I'm always like, is there going to be like a herm in there? And you mentioned hermaphrodites. So in your experience, how have you found like hermaphrodites in those femmes? Like how have they really expressed themselves?
Man, it sucks.
Is it balls or nanners?
Yeah. Definitely, you'll see some nanners, and then like I get in there literally with the magnifying glass, and I'm like, where are they coming from? How bad is this problem? Can I remove this branch? And I'm like, I'm looking for sacks. I'm looking like I gotta get that plant out of there as soon as possible. And so I'm in the tent every day. I gotta change out the humidifier. I'll say hi to the ladies, play some music for them for a little bit, but. Now, when I'm looking for like the color of the trichomes, to see when I can chop it down, I'm in there with magnifying glass every day, and I haven't seen any nanners. I haven't seen anything like that on this plant, so super happy about that.
Awesome.
When they present themselves, it's terrible.
I like the way you said that, man. When they present themselves, it's terrible.
It's gnarly, sure.
Yeah, dude, I've had that feeling because, like, just recently, man, I popped a couple plants into flower recently, man. 2 ones that I did not expect it at all, and they were flowering. I saw the girls looking good, and a couple of weeks later, I looked into the canopy and I saw balls as well, dude. And I was like, bro, what is like full on balls as well, bro? I was like, damn, we gotta chop those down. I guess that's game over for those girls.
Yeah, and that's because it's unfortunate because you get in a relationship with these ladies, right? You're in a relationship for like 4 to 6 months,
Literally, dude.
Tell me about your day. I'm gonna tell you about my day, and like let's get to know each other.
Literally, dude. Oh, you ain't looking too good today. Let me help you get back to life.
You need a haircut, girl. I got you.
Yeah, everything. I love that, dude. All righty, man. Next question is hydro or soil? Soil or soilless? What's your preference and why?
Oh, I've grown hydroponically and I've grown in soil. Hydroponically, I felt like I got a larger plant, or like the growth was faster, and bigger buds, but like. I think the taste on my soil grow is supreme. I really like the terpene presentation in it. I haven't, but I'm also growing strains that I like. I'm not growing like mystery seeds, you know what I'm saying? So like, I'm a big fan of sativas, super lemon haze, Durban poison, ghost train. I'm about it, and that's like, I'm growing in soil right now. I'm having really good results with it. I'm actually trying to go organic with it. But it is wildly hard to have a completely organic setup. And so, right now I'm really digging on soil, but not to knock on hydroponics at all.
Yeah, I got you, man. And like, if you meant like, I haven't heard a lot of people say that, man, but you mentioned like you love sativas, dude, and you listed off some heavy hitters there as well, man. The super lemon haze, man. A lot of people don't even know like super lemon haze as a sativa or don't know what sativas there are out there to list them out like how you did, man. So what makes you, prefer sativa over indica?
I'm a go person, it takes a lot for me to like it. Well, so I have a reconstructed ankle. And when I get home from work after a long day of walking around and being on my feet all day, and I put my foot up, it's really hard for me to get back up. So it's a lot easier just to like, get home from work and like, okay, sit in front of the computer, do Cannacages stuff, go to the gym, maybe like make dinner. And then it's when I sit down at the end of the day, and I feel like I've earned it, I feel like I've earned like the not the right with myself, but I'm okay with myself taking a break.
Yeah.
And that's, that is, I think, the most.
The reward
Yeah,
feeling sort
the
of thing.
reward is the sweetest there.
Yeah, I like that, man. Shout out to you on that, bro, because you always got to stay motivated, bro. And once you figure out a way to do it, that's perfect, dude.
Yeah, well, and it really, just the passion and the motivation behind this kind of like it creates itself, and it's just like all these opportunities are unfolding, and it's like I would be foolish not to take you up on this podcast, go to Cannacon, like get involved with the Small Business Development Center, and everybody's like, yes, you got it, let's go. There's actually we're in the works of potentially Cannacages being on TV with the Blocks Network.
Wow, tell me about that, dude. Fuck me.
Yeah. So it's an entrepreneur TV show, and my consultant also entered in on it, and we're trying to enter in as this dynamic where he's helping me out, I'm helping him out. We're friends at the end of the day, but like right here, right now in the show, like I'm gonna take you down. And so it's a super cool thing that's also in the works too. Really happy about that. Really excited. Really excited,
man. That's awesome, man. Just seeing the growth and stuff. I'm really excited for you as well, dude. So the sky's the limit, man.
Sky's the limit. Yep.
Hell yeah. But next question, man. Photo periods or autoflowers? What's your preference?
Photo periods, 100% of the time. I like to be able to control the plant. I like to be able to control the environment. And now I can have complete control over how it grows. And just having a plant that like, it might start to flower this week. It might not, it's going to kind of do its own thing. I don't really care for that. You're not really, like it might be super small when it flowers, and that's, you haven't gotten to utilize the full potential of the cage. So being able to control that and being in complete control of that, photo periods for sure.
I got you, man. I've had my fair share of experiences where like, I'm like, okay, are you going to flower today? Maybe not tomorrow. Oh shit. Today. Fuck. Oh man, I hate it, man. But next question though, synthetic or organic? What's your preference and why?
Trying to go organic. It's a little bit more expensive, and it's a little bit harder to find. I'm using Roots Organic right now, and their whole nutrient line, I'm really happy with it. I got a bunch of stuff from Cannacon. I have so many nutrients. It is stupid. We're going to be giving giveaways with that too. When we hit like 1,000 followers, we're going to be giving out some of those nutrients and stuff. But right now, I'm able to like cherry pick what I want out of there, like all kinds of terpene boosters, all kinds of root stuff. So really excited for this next grow, but trying to go organic is really hard, but synthetic is really good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I was to make the comparison to like an automobile, right? You want the synthetic oil because it's better, there's not like an organic oil, I guess. Maybe that wasn't the best metaphor, but it's I'm loving organic. I think it's cool. I really like the terpene profile and what I'm growing. Not to knock on synthetics at all.
Yeah. A lot of people lately have been like mixing the two, finding that happy middle ground, that synganic approach, and been getting some really great results. We actually had on JR Talkin recently. I don't know if you're familiar with the Cannabis app, but he actually is co-founder of the Cannabis app, dude. Everyone check out Cannabis if you haven't already. Instagram has been being a bitch lately, but it's definitely worth the look, man. And he won the second place in the DGC Cup, man, the Dude Grows Cup out here in Colorado. With the synganic approach. So I think that there's definitely a place for both of them. And just finding that happy medium sometimes can maybe produce the best of both worlds, man. So that's something I'm actually experimenting with right now. And I'm finding a little bit of success too, man.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, for instance, like my cow mag, I prefer a cow mag that's got a little bit of iron in it. And that I have not been able to find that organically.
Interesting point. That's so true. It's really easy to get some of those like really pinpoint which nutrients you need to get as well that way, because with organics I find myself a little bit of bat poop, some earthworm castings, blood meal, kelp meal, all right, and you're just sort of like estimating stuff a little bit and trying to figure out what is supposed to have what in it, but if you have it like already ready made for you in like a bottle and stuff, it's friggin' awesome, dude.
Well, and then, if you're going to be throwing like organic product in there, like bone meal, back guano, like it also kind of depends on like what that animal was eating for the caliber of the product that you're looking at. You can have good bone meal and bad bone meal, and you can have like good back guano and like, really not good back guano. So like, it's really, there's a lot that goes into that, and it's just one thing to say, like, I know where this is sourced. I know where this is coming from. I know what's in it, but if you can't, and maybe your plant is lacking those nutrients, I have a micronutrient feed that I give them, which is not organic, but it's like zinc, a little bit of phosphorus, sulfur for the terpenes, and it's just like all in very minor amounts that I could not find organically at all.
Dope though. That's
Yeah.
sweet. Yeah.
So yeah.
I like that. Alrighty, man. Let's move on, man. This next question has been a little bit controversial for a couple weeks running, man. So I'm interested to find out what you got to say. Wet trim or dry trim?
Ooh, all right. So I've seen them both work. I prefer so when I'm harvesting myself, I'll go in there and I'll take off all the fan leaves, and then I'll leave anything with sugar on it to dry.
Yeah.
And then I'll go when they're hanging on the buds, and then for like 7 to 10 days, keep the humidity right, keep the temperature right. And then when I can go in there and snap the stem, that's when I'll do a nice like manicured dry trim on it. But I find that the dry trim kind of, you cut off a lot of the terpenes because they'll get on your scissors. It's like it might be like a dandelion if you got a really like frosty bud, and you flick it, it's like, no.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, man. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, but when you're trimming with wet trim, you get like hash all over your scissors, and you can smell that. But it's I guess I like to do a little bit of both. You know what I'm saying? Like get a nice loose wet trim on it, hang it, and then give it a nice beautiful dry trim. But like it's if you're trying to preserve the terpene heads, like there's not a right answer there. Like you're gonna damage the plant, especially in a large production facility, where you've got 800 plants coming down a day. Like you don't give a F about like this one bud, it's a snip, snip, done, snip, snip, done, snip, snip, done, and you got trimmers that are pumping out like 3 to 4 pounds a day, and just keep going, keep the cycle going. So like the attention to detail is not really there. So I think that question could also vary on a large scale versus, a small little closet grower.
Yeah. So true, man. I love that. That's fantastic point, man. And I think I do a little bit of that as well. A little bit of wet, a little bit of dry, cut off the big fans, leave the smaller ones. So I think we're similar in that regard. But let's see if we're similar in this way. Bong or joint? What's your preference and why?
Ooh, man, I got my 2-footer right here.
Oh, that's a Megatron, bro.
Yeah. No, this Luca bong right here, man. This is my baby. This gets me going first thing in the morning. I'm definitely a bong person for sure.
Yeah. What's it like cleaning that bad boy?
Oh, it sucks. It's got 3 honeycomb perks on it. It is terrible to try and get clean. So I finally got an ash catcher for it.
Yeah.
And that stops it from getting dirty, but it's still like, it's not ideal. I fill it up with alcohol and then I run air through it, and that's like all I can really do. Put a little bit of salt in there. I've got a 420 cleaner that works pretty well, but like the gunk that gets stuck in those honeycombs does not come out.
Yeah, that's the thing with some of those huge ones, man. So I think I'm similar, man. I love the bongs, but I like my joint as well, man. But that's a beautiful bong. It's a big ass bong. Like, how much did that run you, man, if you don't mind me asking?
It was a birthday present, but it was about $200 with all the whole setup for it. Nice little mat, couple balls.
That's dope, bro. That's dope. I gotta get me one of those Megatrons, bro. Oh man. Next question though. And the final question on the Know Your Bud segment is edibles or vapes? What's your preference?
Ooh, man, edibles F me up, man. And like in a really funny way that like in hindsight I can like laugh at it, but one story that comes to mind, I had 20 milligrams of edibles, so it does not take a lot for me. We go to the grocery store, we're shopping, we're maybe about halfway through our shopping adventure, and me and my girlfriend at the time split off, and I go to get like bread or something, and I come back to her with a different shopping cart. He's like, "Yo, hey, where's the food? Where's this is not our shopping cart, Nate?" And I was like,
"Whose stuff is this?"
And then it dawned on me that I left my shopping cart and picked up someone else's shopping cart and walked off with it. And so then I'm like, "All right, we got to try and find where's our shopping cart?" And so I'm walking up and down the aisles, and I'm also looking for someone who is equally as confused as I am. There's this shopping cart here, but this is not mine. So and never found the shopping cart. I could not retrace my steps. I was just high walking around the grocery store. So, but they're fun for concerts. I love them for sleep. You know what I'm saying? But definitely vapes. 100% of the time, 99.9% of the time, I would go with the vape. But yeah, it was just, they rock my world, man. And sometimes like even just 10 milligrams, I would not want to be at work, and it's not, and even like when I first got my medical card, I ate 100 milligram edible, and that floored me for like 16 hours, to the point that like I had trouble like getting up to go to the bathroom.
Oh, dude.
You know, I was just like so high, and I shut my eyes, and it got worse.
Yeah.
I was just laying there, and I had like the PlayStation controller, TV remote, and a bag of chips. And I was like, that's where I stayed planted, you know. But then I slept for, you know, I don't even know how long.
Ever.
Best nap. And I woke up and I was like, oh, okay, I see the appeal of it, but like, I'm never doing that again. You know? That was kind of like my threshold of like, okay, because it's metabolized in your body differently, right? So when you eat it, it becomes a different compound.
Yeah.
And it's like, I would say a different high. But it's not, it's they messed me up. And I've tried it. I've experimented with it one too many times and gotten the same outcome every time. Like, wow, I'm just like really high, you know? And I'd go, and then, you know, I'd go pick up other people's shopping carts. So
Blazed.
edibles are not for me, but like, I love them.
The mystery of the unclaimed shopping cart.
Yeah.
I love that, dude. That's amazing, man. I love the Know Your Bud segment, man. Thank you for that, dude.
Absolutely.
We always have some amazing stories on the Know Your Bud segment, man, and you blessed us with some amazing, funny ones, man. Fuck me, dude. Shout out to KJ all day as well, man. I'm sure he's in the chat, and he says he does not do edibles either, man. He does not eat weed. Like, he does not have good experiences with it, man. And dude, I love it, bro. I love it, man. I think we've pretty much touched on a lot of different things, man. We've touched on like the Cannacages, you know, we've touched on the great benefits of it. We've talked a little bit about the low stress training and, you know, a lot of the different ways that we can low stress train plants. Ooh, that was a bit of a mouthful there for a second. Low stress train plants, guys. Say that 4 times fast. But low stress train plants, and do a lot of different things with it, man. And it's not just the medicinal plants. You use it on your tomatoes outdoors and stuff, man. And the game-changing thing is that it's super extendable, and you can not only go out, but you can go up, man. So I think we've touched on a lot of great stuff, man. But if everyone wants to get in touch with you, maybe find out a little bit more about Cannacages, you know, maybe, you know, just get in touch with you and follow you so that when you guys are in stores, they know where they can go and get it locally. Where can they do that stuff, bro?
So we're looking to get the website outfitted with e-commerce so that the user, like you know, your everyday closet grower, can go and purchase 1 cage, you know, or 3 or 4 cages, something on a very low quantity. But we're also looking to do business-to-business sales. Where there was actually another guy that we met at CannaCon E3. They are, so like, you would come to me and you say, hey, I've got $1 million. I want to turn this room into a grow. And they're like, great. We got you on tables. We got you on fans. We got you on ducting. We got you on, you know, nutrients, water, you know, pumps, all the 9. And they want to offer Cannacages as a SKU in their repertoire, right? So that is so we're really exploring markets like that. We also met another guy at CannaCon that does vertical integration. And they move their lights up and down, and
lift and grow.
And so their booth was crazy the whole time. Their stuff moving up and down, you know. And we got to talking with them, and they were like, hey man, so like vertical space is like a huge capital, you know, and that's like, it's always a limiting factor 100% of the time. What you guys do is fan it out, you know. And so we're challenging the typical narrative that you need an 8-foot tall plant to yield anything. I'm saying you could have a 3-foot wide plant and like 2 feet tall and yield the same. Yeah.
I got you. That is amazing, dude. So shout out to you on that. And you can just drop your Instagram and stuff as well, dude. Let everyone know where to find you, where they can get in touch with you, where they can follow and see some of these awesome time lapses and videos and plants in progress, bro.
Yeah. So check us out at Cannacages on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, www.cannacages.com. If you want to email me, info@cannacages.com. On the website, we also have a form that you can become a tester. You can become an investor. You can you're interested in carrying the product, and we'll just get some information from you. And then when it is in production, you know, and it's happening, when it gets into production, and when we're able to produce like 50 or 100 of them, we're gonna come knocking and say, hey, this product exists. Let's talk.
Dope, man. I love it, man. Well, that's what's up, guys. Definitely follow them on all their socials. Check out their website as well, because they got some really nice videos on there and stuff as well, so you guys can get a better understanding of how it works. Don't forget as well to comment on this video so you guys can get entered for that giveaway. One lucky person is going to win a Cannacage that you can use to low stress paint your plants and get some awesome results with, man. And don't be afraid to hit up Nathan and let him know what's up. Let him give him some positive feedback, negative feedback. We always want to improve. We always want to get better, and that's what it's all about, man. So smash the like button for that, guys. Thank you all for watching. Nathan, thank you for joining, man. Thanks for a lot
Thank you for having me. Really, this has been a lot of fun. I love your energy.
Appreciate it, man. It was an awesome time kicking with you, man. And I had a dope time learning more about the Cannacages. And I can't wait to see it in action and see you guys on those motherfucking shelves, bro. Hell yeah, man. So smash the like button, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Don't forget,